Alright, so this is my first Minecraft video. I was inspired by a video I saw from YouTube user Toby1 Kenobi where he built this giant water temple. And I decided I was going to do some elemental temples of my own. I'm doing the Daoist elements rather than, I believe he wants to do all of the classical elements. He only has water so far. So, and also I did much smaller structures, but all in one complex. So this is the Earth Temple. And you can see lots of dirt. You see, I have sort of a pseudo-ziggurat or pseudo-Mayan temple pyramid. It's not quite the same kind of thing, but it's close. And I was just kind of evoking that sort of aesthetic for the Earth. I also have these towers, they started out as pagoda-like things that I was building way over in the Fire Temple, which was the first one I did. And I found it so easy to do this because you just build 2 levels and then copy paste. By the way, my directions are wrong on this, I've discovered, and I need to rotate this whole apparatus about 90 degrees, but I just haven't gotten around to doing that because actually water is supposed to be in the north, and then it's going to be supposed to be east, south, and west, but I actually have it 90 degrees off from where it's supposed to be. So that's one problem I have so far. I don't know how I'm going to get this giant complex rotated, but that would be one thing on my list. So anyway, we've seen Earth here. You see my nice little entrances. I made a sphere, a hollow sphere, and I sort of cut out the first section and cut a little door here, turn this part into, well, I think I just actually put stone blocks in here and turned certain outlining parts into glowstone. This is all with map edit. I don't know, it would have taken me much longer to do stuff without map edit. Obviously, the giant hole in the ground is not possible without map edit because it goes all the way to bedrock. So anyway, moving on, we have the Temple of Wood. So the Daoist elements are fire, water, earth, then metal and wood. And here we have, basically, I built sort of a forest here. By the way, these gates here, we have the wood gate right here. Basically, I made one gate and copy pasted it, and then later changed some things about that, so that you'll see the different gates basically have the same style, just different materials and such. But wood gate. Most of this is lit with torches. I do have glowstone lanterns on the walkway here. And I just built a giant world tree and a bunch of trees around it. If we go up the steps here, we can go all the way up. And you can see the little grove on the top. I made a dirt cylinder here and planted a bunch of trees, and then turned whatever a tree was not on into wood. I used the tree generator tool and the And I also planted some trees where I couldn't generate them, so this is one of the trees that hasn't grown. And going back down, this makes this particular one very unique in that I built all these walkways, and then the way I got these little stands here is I built one of them and then copy pasted and then opened up in each one of them where it was logical for the fence to open. So I got all these little tree stands floating around here, and of course I recolored some of the logs to be the right texture. And so it's sort of like, since this is the only one that doesn't have my pagodas. Instead, I kind of think of it as I broke the pagodas apart and spread them out throughout the treetops here. Anyway, that's about all there is on the wood. I think I will move on to fire. And the fire the fire temple was actually the very first one that I built. At least built the temple proper part. I think the model for the gates was actually the water gate, but I, for some reason, decided to do fire before water. So if we jump down to here and walk in from the fire gate, you can see these little cauldrons that are pouring out lava here. These are, I kind of think of them as like set pieces. The way I built these is I actually built them off in the grass there and copy pasted so that I would have room over in the grass to work with it without being at risk of being burned so much. But that's also why the lava bunches up over there, because that was where the lava was on the grass, and of course lava doesn't flow the way that lava flows. It's really sticky, so yeah, I have more pagodas here. You can see more, this is more sort of a Chinese style building architecture in this particular temple. Since this was my first one, and I had the initial idea of I'm going to do sort of Eastern architecture because I'm doing Eastern elements. I decided I was very much inspired by some Chinese elements. So if I get back outside here, you see here I have these these little horns here. That's something you see in China a lot. Anyway, that's about it for the fire temple. Why don't we move on to metal? This one was one of the last, like the next to last one I built. The last one was the Earth Temple, but this was like next to last. And getting this to look right went through a lot of sort of stuff. Oh, well, my gate's not loaded very well. Oh well, the gate's maybe the least interesting thing, although I might show you here. I put giant piles of gold in here. So this is glowstone. I decided, to me, sort of metal seems to be sort of associated with machines. That's sort of my personal idea. So I put a bunch of piston craft stuff in here so that with this, these are all powered by 2 5 clocks that are underground. And you can see where I had to dig underground to fix some stuff and to get these things to work. But the interesting thing that happens with that is if I go to night, you see it sort of gives a weird strobing effect where the pistons are working. So, yeah, this is very loud. And of course the altar is gold. I tried to make sure to use lots of gold. I used iron as well, but this is inspired by the Chinese elements, and the Chinese word for the element metal, the element metal, jin, is the same as the word for gold. So I decided to make sure I put bunches of gold. But there's lots of iron in places that would be sort of structurally supportive, even though that doesn't matter in Minecraft. But now we go to water, and if the water temple will actually load. Okay, here we go. This I built right after I did the fire temple, so you still have and I have the same formula here of a central temple. This time I did it very curvy sort of thing. I put a cylinder and with a dome on top, and I did round pagodas. And lots of diamonds, lots of lapis to give it this nice blue color scheme. Well, I'll just show really quick, since I'm not sure if I can do this for too long. I did a little bit of glass work to show some places where the water is flowing. And over here, you have these giant spouts. These fountains were set pieces again that I constructed elsewhere and then copy pasted over here and these fountains, I like the effect of the glowstone underwater for those, although I didn't have that happen everywhere for some reason. And there's the equivalent of an altar here is the gigantic fountain in the center. So anyway, that's, I guess, that is the tour of the entire temple complex of the 5 elements, and this may not be the last thing I do. I may go back and build larger temples for each element. Anyway, I think that will be it for our tour today. I hope you enjoyed it. If anybody can give me a tip on how to easily rotate this entire gigantic complex, I would appreciate that, because I don't know. I mean, I know how to do it, but it seems like it'll be very much a pain to do stuff. Do that. Anyway, I see you guys in comments, and I will say good night.